So talking about our flat pulls, okay? This is a phrase that we use for all of our pullers, even if it's a second puller on our counter, okay? And that is when we pull right, we want to hit right. When we pull left, we want to hit left, okay? And all that means is if I'm the left guard, all right, and I'm pulling to my right, I want to hit the defensive end right here with my right shoulder and my right foot in the ground, because that's going to force the kick out, okay? Everything we do with the flat pull, we are forcing the kick out. We tell them that it's never a log, okay? Now, do we have logs? Absolutely. But we never want to pull with the intention to log. We're always going to pull, flat pull, with the intention to get it kicked out, okay? So pull right and hit right, pull left and hit left, okay? And right there, never pull the log, all right? We're going to get our mental weight on our opposite foot. That's something, mental weight, like, is a term I use every day with Coach Atkins and the O-line in this room. And it's something I use every day in high school. And that can be used in every single thing you do with the O-line. So mental weight just means mentally, I'm going to put my weight and transfer my weight in my stance to the opposite foot that I'm going to step with first. So in other words, if I'm a left guard and I'm flat pulling to my right foot is moving first, my mental weight is on my left foot so that I can push off of that foot to gain ground when I pull. I'm going to rip the elbow tight to the body. We're going to try to gain ground on the first step. And really what we're trying to do is not even so much gain ground as we're just trying to get in a position to sprint. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Okay. We're going to pull up into the line of scrimmage. So when we flat pull, all right, even when I draw it, like when I'm drawing counter, all right, and I draw the guard, I draw it like this. Okay, because I want them to understand that when we pull, we're pulling up in the line of scrimmage. Okay, because as these guys create the movement, we want the guard to be tight as can be off of the butt of that tackle so that he can hit with his right shoulder, which again goes back to the very first point that I made in our philosophy, which is we want to keep the ball running north and south for as long as possible, right? When we pull, the first thing we want to think of is edge pressure. So as we're flat pulling, if the end comes inside the tackle and he collects him, we need to be ready to kick whatever edge pressure comes off of the edge. Okay. If there's no edge pressure, we're going to be tight to kick. All right. And then we're going to make a clear decision once we get into contact. Okay. So they're just working it there too on air. All right. Here it is with defenders, right? So the guard's flat pulling. Right. You see, he's pulling to hit with his left shoulder, right? As the end goes to spill, if he's thinking of hitting with his left shoulder, that's going to swing his hip around a little bit. And then the tackle should be seeing that and then working tight off of it. Now, one thing about the tackles on the skip pull, if the guard gets a log, we want these tackles to be so tight off the butt of that log so that when the linebacker who's scraping over the top comes, we can take him and turn him out that way. Why? Go back to the very first point of the talk. If the ball does bounce, we want it to get back vertical as soon as possible. What we don't want is it gets logged. He goes too wide. The linebacker he's working to gets underneath his block, and then the back is here, and he bounces it, and then he has to bounce it again to get out here. Meanwhile, you know, the free safety or whoever it is right there, the whole time he's bouncing it, this guy is eating up all this space on us. And all of these guys in pursuit are come and get it, right? We want the ball going north and south as much as we can. So I would have said here by the tackle, he needed to be tighter to this